77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning, Mother's Day. Well, what the heck is going on in Albany? I'm not sure mothers are happy because I'm not sure their kids are going to be any safer in the streets of New York City or New York State. Paul Zuber, what the heck is going on?
Well, John, it looks like at some point we're going to get a budget agreement. Everybody in Albany thought there was going to be a budget agreement this week. The governor announced a budget agreement, and then the Speaker of the Assembly said, "Hold on, I didn't agree to everything that was listed out." So, that's the usual blow up that happens during the budget. So I think the expectation is that either late next week or the following week, they'll have a budget. I think some of the big things that, the listeners out there should be aware of is that I think that as it stands now, the governor is going to be able to make some significant changes with the climate law. She's going to be able to kind of get rid of some of the mandates, it seems, and make them more of an interim targets. She's going to be able to make some changes into this process of how you determine greenhouse gas emissions, which will lower costs. And, I think it's kind of funny to me, John, that whole debate, because, when word got out that there was an agreement, the environmentalists did all these videos, and they were pretty nasty about the governor and calling her in the pocket of big oil. And what I want to ask them is, well, who's out there protecting the working class? Because what was clear about the way this law was written was it was going to cost people more money, and it was going to cost people who least could afford it, which is the working class New Yorkers, more money. There were studies which showed that gas prices were going to go up an additional $2 on consumers, that if you had an upstate home, you'd probably have to pay additional $4,000 annually. And, this was less an issue about energy and renewables, but an issue about affordability. And I'm sick and tired of legislators claiming they're for the working class in New York and talking about affordability, but then they fight like heck not to change laws that we know are costing working class folks money. So it looks like that's going to be done. It looks like there's going to be some stuff on auto insurance that, it's not going to lower your insurance rates at the rate at which the governor initially proposed, because they had to do some compromises. But, from what I understand from some of our members, it'll probably help lower, auto insurance rates. And I think the last thing out there that's still yet to be resolved is what to do about New York City and how much money is going to be shifted to New York City to help close their budget gap. I think there's been a lot of back and forth in the city. I think the mayor made a tactical error and in kind of going after Ken Griffin, who's the owner of Citadel, and making it a personal issue. I thought that was unfair on the mayor's part, but I also thought it sent the wrong message to businesses out there, to say to somebody, you're creating thousands of jobs, you're making a huge investment in New York. Oh, by the way, you're some horrible person because you happen to be successful. And I think that's the wrong message to send to businesses who are in New York and businesses that are outside the state who may be thinking about moving into New York City. It just shows that you're unwelcome in New York City. So hopefully this will all get resolved within the next 10 days, and we'll see how everything shakes out. But
let me ask you the $64 billion question, and someday it'll be the $64 trillion question. You represent 3,000 businesses in New York State. Have they reached the the FU level yet?
I think they reached that level a couple years ago, John. I think, it goes back to something that I've been trying to kind of tell legislators and everybody that's willing to listen. You got to stop putting your blinders on and acting like, these companies can't go to Texas and Florida and North Carolina and still do business in New York. And when we continue to make it difficult for you to do business in New York with overregulation, more red tape, we make it difficult because we're going to tax the heck out of you. And, your energy prices are going to be through the roof, which is partially related to the overtaxation in New York. You are getting businesses saying, you know what, I can keep an office here, but you know what, I'm going to move most of my new employees to another state. And that's a very real problem. And a lot of companies have shrugged their shoulders and said, okay, we're going to do that. And I think we forget how important those businesses are to the revenue in the state, which actually supports some of these programs that the folks who are out there screaming tax corporations and tax the rich want government to support. So yes, to answer your question, yes, there is a level of anxiety that companies are.
Has Ken Griffin reached that level?
I can't speak for Mr. Griffin, but I think,
just your opinion.
Yeah, no, but my opinion is yeah. And I think not only him, but I think other CEOs out there, because clearly what they did was they targeted him. The mayor targeted him, and even though he's creating all these working class jobs because of the construction jobs, as well as important jobs to the city, and they're treating him like the redheaded stepchild, right? So if I'm him, I'm like, okay, maybe I follow through with my project, but don't expect me to put more into the city. And I think that's a very dangerous thing, and we got to be very careful about that, because there's a whole bunch of other states that are raising their hands and saying, hey, over here, if they don't want you, I'll take you.
I think there's a translation in Florida. They say, come on down.
come, John, we're very close to all our state chambers throughout the U.S., and Florida has told us they are directly marketing to companies to come to Florida. They've told us, they showed us the ad that they were sending around. So they understand it, and they understand that there's easy pickings right now because people are frustrated. And, we got to dig ourselves out of the hole. And part of it is getting rid of some of these regulations. And part of it is, eventually the governor held firm on the taxes, but eventually she's going to have to come back in the next couple of years and lower taxes.
Thank you so much. And we'll catch up with you again real soon.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day.
And have a happy family day today.
All right. Thank you.
Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit asbgold.com. That's asbgold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.